There are about 60 million people in the United Kingdom. A recent Bank of England survey estimated that nearly 6 million of us feel we are currently struggling with our finances. But the actual figure for the number of adults who have had a serious debt problem is between 7 and 9 million. Average household debt in the UK, excluding mortgages, is £8,791. If you include mortgages, the average goes up to £53,326. If that's average, what's serious? This is, one person is falling victim to insolvency every minute of every working day. Could it be because in the last 12 months, almost 8 out of 10 borrowers were given loans without the lender checking that they could afford to repay those loans? They do love selling us money. In 2005, bank and finance companies sent 1.26 billion credit card offers and invitations for loans. That's about 27 per adult. Of course, the only reason they send us these offers is because we accept them. There are about 15 million more credit cards in the UK than there are people, which explains why credit card debt in December 2006 was £54.9 billion. That means we're winning. That's right, winning. The UK is responsible for a third of all unsecured debt in Western Europe, and the average UK consumer owes over twice as much money as the average Western European. Everyone knows that winning requires sacrifice, so let's give a cheer for the 26% of pensioners who find paying council tax so difficult they have to cut back on basics like food, or borrow, or go into debt. Over half of those heroic pensioners live on an income of £5,000 or less each year. But you don't need to worry about that happening to you. Unless you're one of the 54% of people who aren't saving at all for retirement. It's about priorities, isn't it? Half of us managed to save for essentials like holidays, but 1 in 3 of us failed to save a penny during 2006. Is it any wonder that 3/4 of British couples find money the hardest subject to talk about? About a third of couples lie to their partners about how much they spend on their credit cards. Over a quarter of couples regularly argue when they try to discuss their finances. Over a third of couples are kept awake at night worrying about their money situation. That's nothing to be surprised about, because the cost of raising a child from birth to their 21st birthday is £180,137, or £23.50 per day. Not much of that money must go to financial education, because budgeting is the last thing on many students' minds, as the vast majority of 16 to 24-year-olds admit they don't keep track of their finances. And around 15% of 18 to 24-year-olds think an ISA is an iPod accessory, and 1 in 10 reckon it's an energy drink. Silly kids. Never mind that 1 in 3 adults refuse to plan their finances at all, and a quarter of Brits have no idea how much they spend each week. Ignorance is bliss. Of course, if they did know, half of them would realize they could survive financially for just 17 days should they suffer an unexpected loss of income. Depressing? At least you can take comfort in knowing that you are not alone. Almost half of the UK adult population is seriously affected by money worries. Whether or not you're one of them, we're glad you're here. We're I-61, helping you escape the clutches of financial slavery.